The most powerful form of flirting that a man can do is called retention. This is also known as alpha presence. It is what all women subconsciously look for in a man, yet no one teaches this to men. Most guys, when they like a girl, will approach them and start talking, and they'll say something like, "Hi, I love your eyes, you're so beautiful," and they think that that is flirting. But this type of flirting only works on low-quality girls who are desperate or have low. Real high-value women can sense when a man is trying to impress them with his words. They know that if he's doing that, it means that he doesn't have enough value and that he's trying to compensate for it by pretending to be something he's not. That's why you hear them say things like, "I don't like guys that try too hard." What they really mean is that they don't like guys who are trying to impress them with their words, because it shows that these men are desperate and are trying to compensate for their lack of real value. Now, how does a man develop retention? Well, it starts with understanding that women are not the only ones who can flirt. Men can flirt too, and the best way to do it is to simply ignore them. Now, this might sound counterintuitive to what you've been taught, but it works because it shows that you're not interested in them. And this is what confuses them, because they're used to men chasing them and trying to impress them. When you don't chase them, they don't know what to do. When you practice retention on a woman, she will start to feel like she has to work for your attention instead of the other way around. She will start to feel that she has to do things to impress you instead of the other way around. This is where the flirting begins. You see, when you practice retention, you're not trying to impress her with your words, or your looks, or your status, or anything else. You're simply being yourself and not giving her the attention she's used to getting from other men. This makes her feel like she has to work for your attention, and this is where the flirting starts. She might try to get your attention by being funny, or by being cute, or by being sexy, or she might try to impress you with her status, or her looks, or her words. Whatever she does, it will be a form of flirting because she will be doing it to get your attention. But retention is more than just not giving her attention. It's also about being confident, calm, and relaxed. When you're around her, you need to be the alpha male. You need to be the one who's in control and not be nervous or shy. If you're nervous or shy around her, then she won't be able to sense your power and she won't respect you. So before you go out and practice retention on a woman, make sure you work on your confidence first. Make sure you know who you are and what you want and that you're comfortable with yourself. Another way to show retention is through body language. Women are very visual creatures and they pick up a lot from a man's body language. So it's important to make sure that your body language is confident and masculine. Maintain good eye contact with her. Don't be afraid to use open and expansive gestures and take up space. And most importantly, don't cross your arms or legs or shrink down into yourself. This is a classic mistake that many men make. They cross their arms or legs or turn away from the woman. This is a huge mistake. When you cross your arms or legs, you're basically blocking your body off from her. You're sending her a message that you're not available or that you're not interested. And if you turn away from her, you're sending her the same message. So make sure you keep your body open and relaxed and your arms and legs uncrossed. This will send her a message that you're confident and comfortable with yourself and that you're available and interested in her. Here's an example of how to use retention and body language to flirt with a woman. Let's say you're at a bar and you see a woman sitting alone. You approach her and introduce yourself, and she's polite but not very interested. Instead of pushing it and trying to get her number, you simply thank her for her time and walk away. A few minutes later, you turn around and you notice that she's looking at you. You maintain eye contact with her for a few seconds and then you look away. She looks back at you again and you look away again. She gets up and walks over to you and starts talking to you. This is exactly the type of scenario where retention and body language are key. First, you need to be confident and relaxed when you approach her. You shouldn't be nervous or shy. Then, you need to be respectful but not pushy. And finally, you need to be aware of your body language and make sure it's confident and masculine. By following these steps, you'll be able to use retention and body language to your advantage and increase your chances of success with women. Women love a man who is retained because it shows that he's confident, calm, and relaxed. It also shows that he's not desperate and that he's not trying to compensate for anything. Being retained is the ultimate form of masculinity, and it's something that all women find irresistible. Another thing that you should know is that retention is not just for single men. Married men can also practice retention on their wives. In fact, it's even more important for married men to practice retention on their wives because it helps to keep the spark alive in the relationship. When you practice retention on your wife, she will start to feel like you're not taking her for granted and that you still find her attractive. This will make her more likely to reciprocate the attention and affection that you give her. One way to practice retention on your wife is to simply flirt with her. Flirting is a great way to keep the romance alive in your marriage. It shows your wife that you're still attracted to her and that you're interested in her. It also gives you a chance to bond with her and have fun together. So make sure you make time for flirting in your marriage. You can flirt with your wife by complimenting her, teasing her, or being romantic with her. You can also try new things to keep things interesting. Another way to practice retention on your wife is to be affectionate with her. This is a very important part of any relationship. It shows the other person that you care about them and that you're there for them. It also makes them feel loved and appreciated. So make sure you're affectionate with your wife. This can be through physical touch, words of affirmation, or acts of service. For example, you could hug your wife often, tell her how much you appreciate her, or do little things for her. Finally, another way to practice retention on your wife is to make her laugh. Women love a man who can make them laugh. It shows that he's confident, playful, and knows how to have fun. It also makes him more attractive to her. So make sure you make an effort to make your wife laugh. You can do this by telling her jokes, being silly, or finding humor in everyday situations. Now, I know all of this might seem confusing, so let me break it down for you in simple terms. Retention is basically the opposite of chasing. When you retain a woman, you're not chasing her attention or approval. Instead, you're simply being yourself and not giving her the attention she's used to. This can be done through body language, tone of voice, and the way you interact with her. When you retain a woman, she'll start to feel like she has to work for your attention, and this is where the flirting starts. She'll try to impress you and make you laugh and do whatever she can to get your attention. So remember, brothers, the next time you see a beautiful woman, don't just approach her and shower her with compliments. Don't try to be someone you're not. Simply be yourself and let her come to you. Be confident, calm, and relaxed, and let retention do its work. By the way, if you want to level up in life, don't forget to show some love. Until next time,